Another amazing speaker. It's Rory, McEntee, brand and marketing director at Gymbox. And he says, building a brand, no, so he wants to talk about building a brand when you have fuck all to talk about. Let's find out what he means.
Thank you very much for the intro, and hello all. Thank you for joining me today. Yeah, I want to talk you through how to build and evolve your brand when really you've got fuck all to talk about. I want to just talk you through some of the challenges and strategies that we put in place and how to overcome them in the live context of what we're doing at Gymbox. So, you know, I think first things first, this kind of world we're living in now, it's been a bit of a shit show for the last 12 months, and there's a lot of uncertainty around, and a bit like my younger, kind of fresh, clean-shaven self there, we've all probably wanted to take aim at Boris & Co. At an event, but that's probably not the time for that now. I think what we want to look at is how did we face this challenge? And I love this quote around, it's difficult to make predictions, especially about the future. I just think it's so apt in terms of what's going on now. And to give that context in terms of Gymbox, just to tell you our brand story and how we face that challenge, it's probably good to just set out where we were the brand and how we then evolved that. So our brand, our mission was always to be the antidote to boring gyms. And our vision then on the back of that was to make working out as fun as going out. And that's given us this kind of creative, strategic platform, which has essentially become our tagline now, which is anything goes. And that anything goes is about kind of inclusivity, diversity, however you want to train, and whatever your goals are, Gymbox can be the place to do that. Now, moving that forward then, that's allowed us as a strategy to do a lot of things. So our USPR classes, we have the most creative and unique classes in the industry. And some of these are 10 years old now and probably wouldn't resonate and be as relevant in today's market. But aerobics, which was for the slightly shorter person who wanted to get tall, is still one of our most requested classes, whilst it's not on at the moment on social media, with people asking, will we put it back on? And human weights, which, again, that kind of visualizing strength. We did run a class kind of about 10 years ago where you could squat or bench humans instead of dumbbells and weights. Over the years, that's evolved. We've run a Brexit anger management class called BregFit. And then with kind of CBD oil coming in about 2 years ago, we did a recovery class around CBD patches. So our USP has been classes, and that was kind of our way of kind of generating a lot of free PR, but not a lot of money. And it's worked well for us to date. And I think the other bit that helps us stand out as a brand has been our tone of voice. So we've never been a gym that shows, and we try to stay away from showing images of kind of before and after transformations. Our approach is very copy-led. We like to be, we're seen as a disruptor, challenger brand. We have an irreverent, cheeky tone of voice. We try and be disruptive, not offensive, but we do toe that line constantly. And sometimes we get it right and sometimes we don't. And I think we were then suddenly in a situation, like many people, our business closed overnight and we had to make a decision. Do we kind of, we didn't know how long this was going to be. Do we kind of shut up shop, furlough our team and wait it out, or do we double down on our marketing? I think two things happened. One, I saw a massive increase in our social media following. We probably had about 30% in the end over a couple of weeks, with people wanting to stay connected to our brand. And secondly, I was talking to a lot of my marketing peers about branding and how we'd work together. And that led us as a brand to essentially to steal the Irish Prime Minister's quote at the time, which I love, which was, let them say of us, when times were at their worst, we were at our best. And that was the approach we took looking forward into our marketing during the pandemic. And we did a lot of things during that time. So we immediately put on a lot of Instagram live classes, which we were streaming from people's homes. Wi-Fi wasn't great, but we wanted to do it for our community. We also put on a number of workouts for people who may not want to do classes on YouTube, and just showing them how to do moves and to keep fit when they couldn't leave the home. Away from fitness, music is a huge part of what we do at Gymbox. We've got live DJs in our club, so we wanted to take that into people's homes. So we had Spotify playlists, regular playlists, depending on if it's yoga or high cardio, to help people work out at home. And we also beyond that kind of community of fitness lovers, we're also kind of into partying. We work out, as much fun as going out. And we have infamous parties. So we put on a number of DJ nights kind of every couple of weeks on Saturday to bring our community together. So it gave us an opportunity to kind of, rally our community and do something while the gyms were closed. And we ended up raising £10,000 for the NHS, which helped us as well kind of communicate that to our members. We'd offer discounted gym equipment. We partnered with some really like-minded great brands, like Grind Coffee, Fresh Fitness Food, Wit Fitness, and that really helped us kind of stay relevant and give something back to our members. But we didn't want to, I talked about PR, and we didn't want to lose, we are masters of PR. And when pubs looked to open before gyms back in July, we were like a lot of people, we were amazed. So we, again, whilst closed, took aim at that, and we kind of created a series of tongue-in-cheek clothing line, which allowed us to get exposure on Joe Media. We were on Sky News, Evening Standard, and we've actually created this line since, and we were selling it in our clubs before we closed again pre-Christmas. But in the background, we were working on our digital products, working on our digital fitness, and we didn't want to go through some of those kind of more pure gimmicky classes that you might argue. So we partnered with some great people, Yo Gangster, which has DJ Goldie involved, Steel Warriors, who are an amazing London charity, who help produce Knife Prime in London, and Coach Corey, who's a Nike running trainer and the founder of Track Mafia, for everyone who wanted to kind of run during lockdown. So partnerships were a big thing of what we did whilst we were closed. But we didn't, again, want to lose sight of that cheeky, irreverent, fun tone of voice. Yes, it's a post-COVID world, and you need to be a little bit, mindful of that, but we did it in our way. And keeping heart rates up and our rates down was our kind of key line around making sure people could still enjoy fitness in a safe way as we look to kind of open and then reclose again. But I guess the other big part of us looking forward as a brand, I think the pandemic, it really fast-tracked and accelerated a number of initiatives that we had been talking about for a long, long time. And those brand extensions, firstly, we're now offering in our Home Sweat Home product a design and build service. So people now are at home more. Maybe they can't come to the gym. So we will transform, whether it's a garage, a spare room, your garden, and give you a slice of Gymbox in your home. And that proved really popular and something that we wanted to try to see how it went. But from a brand point of view and giving us something new to talk about, it's been a real success. The other area we looked at was a partnership with hotels, and particularly with the quarantine rules that are coming into the UK. We've partnered with Citizen M, who are a fantastic boutique hotel, and that's a global partnership. And we've recorded specific workouts that can be done in rooms, so you're not annoying your neighbours. And that partnership has just launched recently, and it's been a really, really great brand collaboration, and allowed us to kind of get into audiences we would never have been able to get to before. And then the other area is I guess, corporate. We've had a lot of inquiries from different businesses, media agencies, workspaces, and other big businesses to have an element of Gymbox in their business at their location, whether it's our digital product out of the box, or whether it's actually building a small gym or studio space for those people who want to actually do classes, maybe can't come to the gym as regularly. So the idea that these projects wouldn't happen 3 years ago, they have been fast tracked, and it's meant for us as a brand. We were a small gym. We've had 11 locations. We started off in a car park in Holborn, and we're now essentially a global brand, be it in a digital sense currently. And all that took was us, to close our gyms during a pandemic, where we had actually a lot of time on our hands, and we had nothing to talk about. So we thought, let's innovate, let's try something new, and let's see where we can kind of take this brand. And that's going to set us up quite nicely as we look to build that bricks and mortar presence outside of London and outside of the UK in the future. Thank you very much.
Rory, thank you. Superb presentation. Great to hear of another company experimenting hard during this pandemic. Now, lots of questions coming in. The first one here is one I like from Aveline, who says, what are you going to take from all you've done back into your gyms when they reopen?
Yeah, yes, $1 million question. I think that it's a super challenge. I think we have learned a lot in terms of, we have such a loyal bunch of members who know Gymbox and know the DNA of the brand, and now we've created a new community of people who want something slightly different. So we do a lot of surveys, we get a lot of feedback, and what we're trying to do now is actually take some of those learnings, and as we're opening back up, losing some of those kind of old school elements that weren't overly on brand now, and just trying to kind of grow up a little bit of the brand. So just trying to take that digital product and reinvest it back into the bricks and mortar, really.
Excellent. Great question here from Ian, who asks, when taking your very specific form of voice into new markets, how have you managed to make that process to ensure your identity is retained while making it resonate?
You know what? That has been my biggest challenge over this period of time, because, Londoners and certainly our members are quite a specific bunch who know our brand very well and know what we're trying to do and know the history of what we've done. As we've gone into different markets, we've had to grow up a little bit, and our tone of voice, we've had to probably be a little bit less on the front in terms of trying to, we don't need to be as disruptive, maybe as offensive as we used to be to get noticed. We are a big brand now within London. So actually what we're trying to do is just be clever, be fun, put a smile on someone's face. And I think no matter where you are in the world, actually, we all, with everything that's gone on, really need something to smile about now.
Definitely. Question from Duncan, I think just slip in. And there's lots of chat about this yesterday. Duncan asks, with your tone of voice, what's your view on the Burger King social campaign?
Well, look, we're talking about it, so it's done its job. I think actually it's something that, you could debate for a long, long time. In one side, you got to say credit to them; they knew what they were doing. We've done stuff like that in the past, and actually, long term, I think it's probably a little bit damaging for the brand. Short term, you get the spike and you get the conversation going. So it depends what side of the coin you're on.
Great informed answer. Rory, thank you so much. That was superb. Thank you.